What's up, everybody? Belligerent here with another Bloodline video. And before we get into it, I want to throw a couple of things at you, okay? The first one I'm going to throw at you up in the upper left-hand corner is our Discord invite code. So you can head on over to Discord, join our server. We want you all to come hang out with us. We're having a blast. We're building a good community. There's a lot of good people there, a lot of good conversation going on. It's also where you can recommend videos to me, ask me questions, and it's also where I'm going to leak, and I have been, leaking some of the information that I'm getting ready to put out in videos. You'll find out some of that stuff first. Some of it I hold on to it for the videos, but some of it we discuss beforehand. I leak some of it, and we just have a great time, a good time. So come on over, help us continue to build the greatest unofficial Bloodline server that's out there. The second code that I want to throw at you is a guild code. So if you head on over to the guild tab, up on the top there, you see where it says enter name or ID to search for guild. You can enter this ID. Now, the guild that I'm a part of, we just maxed out on our main server, and so we decided to expand to another server. I'm going to be kind of running that branch of our guild, so to speak, but we have a guild Discord where kind of everybody comes together, so we got a lot of great people on it. We're small right now. We are on server 295, and if you enter this code that you see down in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen, you can go to server 295, find our guild, come on over and join it. I'm happy to help you. If you're new, if you're experienced, come on over and help us grow the guild better. And like I said, we are slowly expanding to other servers, so it's going to be a great presence, a great guild community there for you if that's what you're into. The last one I'm going to throw you is an invite code. Now, over on the left-hand side of your screen, when you log in, underneath your account icon, you'll see Go ID, Mail, Feature Preview, Quests, and then you'll see the community chat bubbles. So when you come into this, now you have to be prior to stage 320. So if you start up a new account on a different server, or you are brand new to the game and you are prior to stage 320, you can come into this area. Down at the bottom, you will see 3 tabs: community, invitation code, and rewards. So if you go into the invitations code, this is where you will put this code that I'm giving you in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen right now. If you do that prior to stage 320, when you hit stage 320, you will get these rewards: 100 diamonds, 10 construction plans, and 200,000 bread. Okay, do that. You'll get those rewards after you after you complete stage 320. When you complete stage 320, you can go to your rewards tab, or find your invitation code, start giving that invitation code to other people so you can start getting rewards from friends that you're inviting. Okay? So that's what I got for you. And now let's get into the video. All right, let's jump into this. In today's video, we are going to talk about my interpretation of the perfect support champion for your board. Now, I want to give a shout out to Dine, my mad scientist over on our Discord server, who has been hashing out a lot of data with me. We've been going back and forth on some traits. We're working on some good things that we're going to be bringing to you soon. That's why I haven't put out a video in a while. I got some good things in the pipeline that we're working on. I'm really excited about them. So I'm giving you this, short little video to, to keep you satisfied, hopefully for a little bit. But before we drop the boom, with the good stuff. But, shout out to Dine, my mad scientist on our Discord, for helping me, kind of come to, I guess, a resolution on which traits that we thought would be kind of ideal for a support character and which character. So we're going to jump into this. I made this now. So we are going to be using the male Aeson, the male priest. And so the reason that we're going to be using him is because he has a lot of good inherent support abilities. So his passive is an all teammate strength increase. That's huge. If we go back to the codex, you might remember this from our clan. That is not the codex. Hit the wrong button there. You might remember this from the clan series, right? So if we hop on over here, we look at the priest clan, the Aesons, and we can see when he is at max level, so 15 star, level 600, which it'll take a while for y'all to get to. I'm not even there yet, but he will increase all teammate strength by 30%. That is the biggest team-wide strength buff, constant strength buff in the game. Okay, obviously, F Lion will do more than that with her buff, but with him, it is a constant. Hers is just 5 seconds. Him, it's a constant, and you see mine right here is at 16% strength buff. So that is a great skill to buff your team. The other thing he has, which is very nice, especially depending on what you want to run on your front line of your comp, is a shield. Creates a shield for the teammate with the lowest health, absorbing damage up to 369%. Well, up to a percent of the caster's strength. That's obviously going to go up. But getting shields on your lowest health hero is a good thing. Especially, I know some people aren't a fan of the male Lionstone, but this will give you shields if the male Lionstone doesn't fit into your comp. At least shields on the teammate that is in the most desperate need. Now, I'm not going to argue necessarily with people who say Lumi is a better support because of the heals, because of the revives. I get that, but that's all you kind of get from him. I don't know that healing is necessarily that strong in the game. The revives are strong, but strength is key in this game. If you go up against a team that just outstrengths you, it doesn't matter how many times you revive, they're just going to keep putting you down. So that's why we decided on Aeson instead of Lumi in this case. But we do bring a little of that. So let's get into the traits that I married on to this champion. Now, I will tell y'all before you get into this, this is probably more of a late game project for you. Okay, this took me in total probably somewhere between 17 and 20 marriages to make happen, because I was dealing with clan traits from mythic champions. And in this situation, these were all mythic champions that I did not have a companion for, so I couldn't just constantly, randomly throw them. Now, some of my marriages were random luck, and some of them were very, methodically planned out. So your results may vary, but let's take a look at the traits that we have. Well, his clan trait is devout. So when a battle starts, increases all champions' healing and healed efficiency. This effect can't be removed nor stacked. Now, that's the key to all of these traits. Well, I shouldn't say all of them. 3 of the 5 traits is that these are team-wide effects and they can't be stacked. So that's why we just put them on a single support. The purpose, I probably should have went into this first, I apologize. The purpose of this support was to design a support champion that would fit into basically every comp. There's going to be some niche comps. There's going to be some theme comps where this may not fit in, but for the most part, every comp that I can think of or that I've made in the past, this is probably a drop-and-play champion, and that was the goal, is I wanted to create a champion that works for almost every composition that I'm going to put together. So this guy is done, right? So Devout is good for healing if you have that on your team. If you don't, it's not going to do much for you. But if you're running like F Ugrel, Little Miss Spin to win, great. If you're running an F Doombringer, she has the lifesteal. Anything with lifesteal. Or if you want to run an M Lumi beside him, this will help with the heals. All right, and then we have Hulking. This comes from the Fulgur clan. When the battle starts, it increases all champion strength by 5%. After that, increases their strength by 2.1% every 2 seconds, up to a total of 26%. And again, this effect can't be removed nor stacked. So again, same type of effect, only need this on one champion. Now, if you're running a comp that has Fulgur on it already, you may not need to put this on your support champion, but again, this champion was designed to drop and play in any comp, so I may not always have Fulgur in my comp, so we need this on there. All right, the next one is Sanguine. This one comes from the Lumi clan. Again, if you're running Lumi as your support instead of Aeson, you're losing out on the Aeson shields, you're losing out on the Aeson strength buff, but you wouldn't have to worry about marrying this one. And honestly, of the traits that are on this champion, his personal clan trait, Devout, is probably the least useful because lifesteal and healing is much more specific to a comp than strength. Everybody needs strength, okay? Sanguine is total damage, not strength, but basically the same thing as the Fulgur clan. Increases all champions' damage by 2%. After that, increases their damage by 1.4% every 2 seconds, up to a total of 16.6%. This effect can't be stacked nor removed. Or, I'm sorry, can't be removed nor stacked, whichever way you want to say it. Okay, so we have hulking that's increasing strength. Now, understand the difference between strength and total damage. Okay, strength, as we've seen if you've watched my traits video, if not, you should go watch it. But strength is the stat that 90 to 95% of all skills are multiplied by. Every champion, except for, I believe it's the female Lionstone and the female Lycanus, every other champion has at least one skill that is increased or based off of their strength. Female Lionstone, female Lycanus don't. Everybody else does. So strength from hulking buffs all of those as well. So if you have a male Lionstone, his shields are based off of his strength. His damage output may not be that big a deal. Sanguine isn't going to really, it'll give him more total damage, but that is not what we really want from our male Lionstone. What we want from our male Lionstone are big shields. And that's where hulking comes in, because hulking buffs his strength, as well as the male Aeson's passive buffs strength. So all of that is going to help abilities as well as damage output. Sanguine is just total damage. So that's damage after all of the, everything has been calculated. Total damage at the end gets an increase up to, in this case from Sanguine, 16.6%. So the effects from hulking will also get increased by the effects from Sanguine. That's why they work well together, and they are different, so they can be stacked. You just can't. Now, somebody asked me, what does the can't be stacked means? That means, so for like hulking, if you run this in a comp that has a Fulgur in it, you're not getting double effects from the trait. It's only going to behave as if there's one trait on the board. That's what cannot be stacked means. Cannot be removed is things like, just off the top of my head, the male Elsdith, the Dark Elf Archer, his ultimate removes buffs from champions. Well, that effect, or that ultimate, won't work on your team. Now, it would remove the buffs from his passive, because that passive is not protected by that text. But these two effects can't be removed by him. All right. The final, or I shouldn't say the final one, the next one that we put on, but the final clan trait comes from the Yivnian, the Dark Elf Assassins. I just call them the Yiv. Focused. When battle starts, increases energy gain rate by 22%. Now, this is big. And you see right here, I'm showing you some screen captures from a battle that I tested his energy. And you see on the top screen capture here, this is when the female Lionstone hit her first ultimate. You can see where the male Aegison's energy was at that point. The second screen capture you see there is how much energy female Lionstone had accumulated towards her second ultimate when male Aeson hit his first ultimate. And then in the third screen capture, you can see when they both hit their second ultimate, which was at the same time. So you can see that Focused helped him catch up all of that head start that she had. And that is why focus is very important. Okay, and then finally, we throw a level 22 Brutal on here. Strength is increased by 45%. Why? Because everything is influenced by strength. His shield is influenced by his strength. His ultimate is influenced by his strength. So that is a good solid. That's probably a trait you are going to put on everybody. So a lot of people have been asking me for more videos on traits, and they're coming, I promise. But we have some work that we're working on that's got to happen before I can give you videos on the best traits for the best people, the best clan traits, all of that stuff that you've been asking me for. They are in the works. I want them as bad as you want them, but there are a few things that we have to finish up on first. This is one thing that I feel confident in saying, and again, shout out to Dine, who has been helping me figure all of this stuff out. We're working, we've been in the lab, hashing all this stuff out. The one thing that I am confident in saying at this point is that basically every champion that you will use, again, probably with the exception of female Lionstone, female Lycanus, because they don't really benefit from it other than damage output. You're going to put Brutal on them, especially anybody that you want damage from. Any kind of DPS, you're going to put Brutal on. Brutal will probably be in everybody's trait kit. That is the only trait that I'm going to say that about at this time. There are a couple others that I'm fairly certain are going to go there, but the only one that I am comfortable saying 100%, I am confident that you will put this in 90, 98, 95, I don't know what the percentage is, but just about everybody's kit, unless you're teching for something specific, some kind of niche themed build, you're going to have Brutal on everybody. So if you have a mythical companion that's producing heirs for you, everybody asks me, what should I marry? What should I marry? What should I marry? The only thing that you should marry right now is going to be Brutal. Okay. Now, whether or not you want to wait for the level 22 Brutal or you want to settle for a level 18 Brutal, that's on you. I'm not going to tell you which way to go on that. Just understand that there are level 22 traits. So you should, that should be your goal. But if you want to do it incrementally, I'm not going to tell you how to do that. Just remember that rings are a finite resource. Okay. Now, you might be looking at this and going, well, you just said there's level 22 traits. Why are you using all level 18s except for the Brutal? I'm going to tell you why. One is because, like I said, none of these clan traits came from champions that I have companions for. These were all summons on this account. Okay. The other thing I'm going to say is, in order to do Fulgur, Lumi, and Yiv, all the way, companions, all the way up to where level 22 traits are produced, you're looking at close to, if not more than, 200,000 diamonds. Okay. Now, you might want those because you're going to be using Fulgurs, Lumis, or Yivs. That's something for you to decide. But to spend that many diamonds to level those three companions to where they will produce heirs with level 22 traits, in my mind, is kind of egregious. So level 18 is probably fine. Until way, way, way late game, I don't think the incremental percentage you're going to get between 18 and 22 is probably not going to affect you for many, many months until this game develops and players are much further along in the meta. 18 is fine. But if you want to go for 22, go for it. But that's why all of these clans are level 18, where the Brutal is 22. Now, on other account, you know, if I were to approach this again, you could make an argument for getting the ASN clan up to 22. Because if you're going to build this support character, then it's probably worth leveling up to 22, because you're going to want to produce a lot of these so we can get them all the way up to eventually 15 stars, right? Other than that, this is the way that I would make the build. This, again, is my interpretation of the ultimate support champion. Plug and play, you drop it on the board, and he does what he needs to do as a support champion. Now, are there champions like Lumi who do certain things better in support if you're a fan of heal, if you're a fan of the revives, things like that? Sure. Again, if you wanted to build a male Lumi like this, you could. I honestly think you're making a mistake if you decide to go with Lumi over ASN, because I promise you in this game, strength is going to be king over heal and revive. And ASN has that up to 30% strength constant team buff. And to me, that's big. And his AoE is also killer. Like he also contributes to your team damage. Okay? So let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you're trying. And again, come on over to our Discord, join our conversations there, talk to me there, but like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend. I'm Belligerent. Peace.